Just a little video log update, this one. I'm just getting ready to film one of my videos for my other channel. I thought I'd just tell you about the little saga ride with that bolt for the Mondeo chassis. I'll tell you about that in a second. Right, well, as you can probably see here now, I'm just setting up the set for my little video I'm going to be doing for my other YouTube channel. This is about our t-shirt and mug business, what me and Sharon run. Well, Sharon runs it now. I just sort of oversee it now and do a few instructional videos. So that's what I'm doing here at the moment. But let me put you on the tripod and I'll show you this new bolt. Let me tell you the saga I've had with this. Right, let's take a seat down here. Right, now as you know, I went... Well, initially what happened was that I phoned up Ford in Lincoln. I live about 22 miles away from Lincoln. I phoned up Ford in Lincoln and I asked him for the front subframe, the rear bolt, one of the 4 bolts that holds the subframe to the actual chassis of the car. So they need the registration number. They also wanted to take the chassis number of the car as well. They did that. The bloke come back on the phone and said, yes, we've got the part, we've got it in stock. And I also ordered the 2 gearbox seals as well, as you probably know, which I've actually fitted in there fine. So I fitted the seals and I come to do the video. Those of you who've seen my last video, which I think is video 8 in the Ford Mondeo DMF series of videos, will notice that the bolt which they had sent me or given me once I went down, it actually went down to the shop, don't forget. I drove 22 miles, I went down to the shop, picked up the bolt and the seals. And when I looked at the bolt, because I didn't have the pattern bolt with me, I didn't have the bolt because this bolt, the original bolt, was still stuck up in the chassis. I still had to get that out. So I said to him, are you sure this is the right bolt? Because I was talking to a different bloke who I spoke to on the phone. And he said, yes, it's definitely the right bolt. I said, well, you wasn't the chap I spoke to. What about the chap I spoke to on the phone? I said, can he assure me that this is the right bolt? And he come out and he said, yes, they've obviously made an update in a sort of a cocky manner, I suppose you could say. Yes, they obviously do make updates, he said, and that's obviously what's happened here. Because I questioned the size of the head on the bolt, looked a lot smaller than this head on this bolt, for example. So anyway, I drove back home, and I had the bolt, as you know, for a week and a half or something like that. And then I come to do video 8 in the Mondeo DMF series. And when I took the old bolt out, which was this one, the one I actually had to grind the head off and withdraw, held the new bolt up to it, and totally different size. So I ended up having to drive back to Lincoln again and went to the Ford dealer again, see a bloke in there, and told him that this bolt I was assured was the right bolt, the one they sold me for £3.48 or whatever it was. Let me find the exact price. I've got all the receipts here. Yeah, the original bolt was £3.97, so we're not talking a lot of money in total. So I said I've had to drive all the way back, and it's obviously the wrong bolt. I was assured by 2 of your blokes that it was the right bolt. I said it's taken an hour out of my time, plus I've had to use a gallon of petrol, 44 miles round trip. And he said, well, we don't actually keep that bolt in stock. He said, we'll have to order it in, which meant I've got to go home and come back again. And when he looked on the computer screen, it come up with a totally different part number. And he actually showed me on the microfiche, on the computer screen, that I said, yeah, that's the bolt there, that's the one I want. And he said, yeah, we don't stock that. So I said, well, that one, he said, this one's going to be £5.40 something or whatever it was, which is like a couple of pounds difference. And I said, well, I hope you're not going to expect me to pay that after driving all this way when it's been a mistake by 2 of your people who've told me, yes, it is the right part, you've got it in stock, and I've come down, it's the actual wrong part, and now I've had to come back and pick it up. Now what you're telling me is that I've got to go home again and then come back again, which is another hour out of my time and another gallon of petrol, and you're asking me to I hope you're not asking me to pay for that. Anyway, he said, well, what we'll do, we'll refund you for this one. So I'll give him the old bolt back, or the new bolt rather, and then he put the money back on my card, and he said, I'll give you a phone call when it's in. It should be in tomorrow, which is today. So we got a phone call at 9 o'clock this morning. Yes, it's in. You can come and pick it up. So as we're going now, I said to Sharon, well, I wonder if he's going to make me pay for this now, after I've explained my situation. So anyway, I goes in the shop, in the trade, on the counter there, rung the bell. The same chap who I saw the day before come out with the bolt in his hand. So whether he knew it was me coming or I don't know, because it was about an hour and a half later. He comes straight out, he had the bolt in his hand. He said, there you go, sir. So I took it out, looked at it, compared it with the old one. Perfect, fantastic. I said, so what, you expecting me to pay for this now? He said, well, yeah, you have to pay for it, sir. I said, well, with all due respect, I said, I understand it's not your fault. I said, but I was expecting to get this for nothing after wasting 2 hours of my time through no fault of my own and also 2 gallons of petrol now. I said, due to your staff issuing me with the wrong part, after I asked them to check it as well. And I said, is there anyone else I can speak to here, like a manager or whatever? I said, because no disrespect to you, you're only following orders. I said, I'm not having a go at you. I said, but I just need to know that there's some sort of customer service procedure back up where I can vent my complaint to someone who can make a possibly decision. I said, it's not about the money. He said, because I'll give you, what I can do, he said, I can give you 20% off the price of the bolt, which took it down from £5.49 or whatever it was to £4 something. So I said, it's not about the money. I said, it's about a large company listening or causing a grievance to a member of the public, which is myself, and putting an inconvenience on me. I said, and then what can they do about it when for the sake of pennies? And he said, well, that's the best I can do for you here, he said. And I said, well, you're going to need to give me some sort of a customer care information, I said, because I'm going to obviously take this higher, I said, because I need to find out what the procedure is when a member of the public's got a genuine grievance. And as I said, it's not about the money, it's a matter about the principle of the matter now, about a big corporate company. I said, for example, I said, if this was your own little business, I said, you've caused me all this inconvenience, which I brought to your attention. I said, I'm sure you'd say to me, oh, there you go, I'm very sorry about that, sir. I said, but your hands are tied, I understand it. He went, well, he didn't really commit himself that he would do that. I do that, and we do that, me and Sharon in our business. If we get a customer who, for whatever reason, has got an issue or something, we might have sent the wrong things out, which we have done before, to the wrong person. Very sorry, we don't expect them to send it back and take hassle out of their time. We allow them to keep the item we've sent them, and then we send them the new one. That is good customer service. We're a small business, and that's how we operate. We look after the customer, because we don't want bad feedback. But the point I was trying to make was that with this great big multinational corporation, although they've got customer service departments, for you to actually follow up and break down the system to get a direct answer, the front line of customer service is just a system where computer says no, and that's it. And they have to abide by the computer, what the system says with regards to how to deal with people. In other words, you come up against barriers all the time. And if the only way you can break that down, I mean, I could go, I've got the number here. I said, well, I'm going to have to take your name, I said, and also the information for your customer services centre. So he wrote the number down for me, and his name was Matt. He was very good, because he went straight to the part, and he actually showed me the part on the microfiche. I've got the part number, which is totally different than the part number than the chaps who, the initial person who issued me a part number and told me that yes, it was the part, even though I questioned it. And as I said to you, so it was through the incompetence of the salesperson or the two members of staff initially who have caused me 2 hours of my time, and also 2 gallons of fuel, because say about 44 miles to the gallon, which is an average fuel consumption for a normal car, I would imagine, something like that, a diesel car. So that's a lot out of my time. But that obviously doesn't matter. The front line says for customer service, very sorry, the most we can give you is 20% off. And on the £5.45 item, I ended up paying £4.76. So, I mean, if it was a matter of principle, I could have said, right, stuff your bolt, I'll go down to a breaker's yard and pick one up for pennies. It's not about that. It's about a large corporation, a company like the mighty Ford, for example, on how you deal with an issue when their people that they employ to serve the customer and issue the customer with the correct information and also the correct parts, for example, and how they deal with you when they make a mistake. The rule says no, they can't make a decision. The person behind it, I said, I understand you can't make a decision, or whatever he said. That's why I need to speak to someone higher. He said there was no one higher there who could make that decision. I'd have to get onto the head office of Ford. So I'm not going to bother doing it, but I thought I'd just bring that to your attention. And if you look in the top corner here, I think, I've put a little poll there. So if you click on that little eye icon, which you'll see just about roughly about now in that top corner, just click yes or no whether you've had similar experiences with a large corporation like that. I'll put a yes/no answer. It'll just give us an indication on how many people have had a similar sort of indication situation with a large corporation. If you would have dealt with me, with my business, you would have got good customer satisfaction, and we've got glowing references in our little small business. What me and Sharon run, which we've done for the past 10 years or 11 years now, which we're coming into, that we provide customer satisfaction. So anyway, I'm not going to ramble on any about that anymore. I thought I'd just let you update you on that one. So the next one's going to be video 9, where I start to assemble the rest of the ancillaries and possibly get the subframe back in. I'm waiting for the gearbox oil to come, so I can't do the video on that yet, because I mean I've got to fill the gearbox oil up really before I put the subframe up, because it's quite awkward apparently to get to the nut to do the undo the Allen key for the fill plug. So I'm going to do that anyway. So I'm just going to do this video. Where's Sharon anyway? Let me go and find Sharon. Wait there. She's on the phone. Oh well, let me have a cold drink, yeah. So yeah, the time now is 4 o'clock in the afternoon. We went out this morning at about 9:30, I think, something like that. Jimmy comes in at 5 o'clock, and then we're off down the gym. So I'm not gonna really get much done today. I can see me switching these lights off and then doing the video tomorrow and the car. I don't know. We'll see anyway. Oh well, that's just a little update on what I've been up to today anyway. So we've been out for a meal as well, and we've done a bit of shopping as well. So happy days. I've got the bolt at last. I'm sure I read online that someone said that these bolts were about £12. I had a look. I think someone else said the Subframe, because someone else has had this problem, I gather, in one of the forums. I think I had a look through, but I don't know how they got over it. This is how I've got over it, as you know. But anyway, large corporations, when they get so big, customer service suffers, and you don't get customer service, even though they call their departments customer service. I'm not gonna rant. I'm determined not to rant, because I didn't lose my temper. You can't lose your temper with these people in the shops anyway. They're just there to perform the task of what they're told to do. And he couldn't issue me with the bolt for nothing, because it's his job at stake. He might get done for gross misconduct. So everyone's frightened to do anything. No one can make a decision. Decision making has been taken out of the hands of the individuals in big corporations. You've got to play the game. Oh, pardon me, I'm starting to rant. I'm going to sign off. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, bye for now.